Hello, everyone. Welcome. Thank you for joining today's session. My name is Isabel. I am your event planner for the Reactor, joining you live from Sydney, Australia. Now, before we begin this fantastic session, we have a quick housekeeping. Remember, we're committed to fostering a welcoming, inclusive, and supportive environment for both our audience and presenters. While we absolutely encourage engagement in the chat, please let's keep our comments respectful, professional, and constructive throughout the session. And let's remember to please stay on topic. This session is being recorded and will be available to view on demand within 24 to 48 hours right here on the Microsoft Reactor YouTube channel. If this is your first time attending a Microsoft Reactor session, please note that you must create a YouTube account in order to have access and interact in the chat. You can set that up now. And if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to us on social media or through our website. Thank you all for joining us on the third session of the Data Factory in Microsoft Fabric series. Today's session is called Mirroring with SAP Certified Partners in Microsoft Fabric. And I am excited to introduce our fantastic speaker, Ye, and we'll now be handing over the spotlight to him. Take it away, Ye.
Thank you, Isabel, and thank you for the introduction. And welcome to this Microsoft Reactor session on SAP data integration in Microsoft Fabric with a specific focus on open mirroring with SAP certification partners. My name is Ye, so I'm the product manager from the Microsoft data integration team. So before we dive in, so we always start from the context of the Microsoft Fabric and the Fabric Data Factory, right? I believe many of you may or may not have already heard about this, but Microsoft Fabric, basically it's a kind of SaaS data platform designed for the AI transformation. So it is the only unified platform in the industry that brings together a unified data foundation that deeply integrates with data factory, data analysis, including data engineering, data warehousing, and data scientists, databases such as SQL database and more, real-time intelligence, and Power BI. So all the kind of workload built on an industry-first AI-powered data lake, one lake, with a unified data governance as well. And also, within the Microsoft Fabric, when we talk about SAP data integration, we also need to discuss about data factory within Fabric, right? Data factory in Fabric is built on the unification of two core capabilities. The first one is Azure Data Factory, our professional data integration service on Azure. The second one is Power Query, our self-service data preparation tool embedded in Power BI, Excel, Dynamics, and the Power Platform. So Fabric Data Factory support both low-code and professional code approach for the data integration. It is AI-powered through Copilot, enables intelligent and efficient workflow for you. And additionally, Fabric Data Factory also support open source data integration approach like the Airflow and the dbt, etc., providing you flexibility and extensibility. Okay, this is a last page to give the context overview of the data factory in Microsoft Fabric. Let's look at how data factory deliver all the major data integration capabilities. Data factory can help to get access on data on a big variety of the sources through the hundreds of connectors, including SAP system, no matter it is on-prem, on cloud, behind a firewall, or within the virtual network. Data Factory can also help you to move your data at a petabyte scale from any source to any destinations. Data Factory can also help you to transform the data with the low-code experience powered by Power Query, but at scale with Fabric compute engines. Data Factory can help you to orchestrate your data movement, data transformation, and other activity to make sure the end-to-end data integration flow works. And the last but not least is that deployment, DevOps, all those kind of things and monitoring are built into Data Factory as part of the complete data management and integration platform. And everything is on top of the AI-powered OneLake. Okay, so I believe now we spent a few minutes have already shared the context of the Microsoft Fabric and Data Factory in Fabric, right? So after you understand what is the Data Factory in Fabric, so we just mentioned one of the key capability in Data Factory in Fabric is that it can help you to access a wide variety of the data sources, including SAP system through the hundreds of the connector for the downstream analysis, right? So today, we will really focus on the data integration with a specific emphasis on the SAP related scenarios. So let's begin with an overview of the SAP data integration option available in Fabric. In this page, we will then deep dive into the different options, especially the open mirroring and the partner solution. So the first pillar we want to discuss here is our built-in connector for SAP data integration solution, data integration story. So with Fabric, we aim to provide an out-of-box connector around more than 170, including a comprehensive suite of the SAP connector to cover all the standard SAP data integration scenarios. Our goal is to achieve a feature parity with the SAP source integration capability in Azure Data Factory. And we have largely reached that goal. So all the major SAP connector that you may know from Azure Data Factory have now been available in Fabric Data Factory, except the SAP CDC connector. The SAP CDC connector is not included because SAP raised a concern about underlying API that this connector rely on. So as a result, we have chosen to not bring the SAP CDC connector into a Fabric Data Factory as is, but we are exploring the alternative approach to the previous capability instead. The second pillar involves working with an extensive partner ecosystem. So we provide a platform in Fabric for partners to offer their own data integration solutions. So over the past 1 year, especially regarding to SAP, so we have collaborated with several dedicated partners who bring the specific SAP data integration capabilities. So basically, these have enabled by two main steps. The first step is to allowing the partner to lend the data from SAP to Fabric OneLake. And the second step is to enabling deeper integration through the open mirroring. So for the first step, so many of the our partner tool already support a wide variety of the destination after getting data from SAP system, sorry, including the Azure Data Lake Gen 2. So enabling support for OneLake was very straightforward, given the OneLake API is very similar to AWS Gen 2. So the first step for them is to make SAP data to Fabric OneLake as possible. And after that, the second step was open mirroring come in, which involve a deeper integration for data replication to see how we can synchronize data from SAP to Fabric data warehouse in a near real-time manner. So I will provide more detail in the later slides. The third pillar here for us is to align with SAP own data analysis strategy. So many our customers want to use SAP tool for some of the use cases, such as financial planning, where some of the deeper integration with SAP backend system is very important. So while they may also want to Microsoft tool for data analysis and other tasks, right? So so often those kind of requirement need combining SAP and the non-SAP data. So the integration between the both world is very important. So our main strategy here is to connecting the strategic product of the both vendor. On our side, that is the Fabric. So on SAP side, currently it's a SAP DataSphere. So in summary, in this page, we share the option for you about how the SAP connectivity in Fabric. 3 pillars here. First one, you can get data from SAP using our built-in connector. Second, you can also leverage our partner ecosystem to integration. And the last one is to align with SAP own data strategy coming from the DataSphere, for example. Okay, so now let's deep dive into each of the pillars I just described in the last page. So the first pillar we described is that, hey, you can now get your data from SAP via the built-in SAP connector, right? When it comes into a built-in SAP connector, we essentially divide this work into 2 main use cases. The first one is self-service, or we call citizen data integration use cases. So in the context of the Microsoft Fabric, so these connectors will be very familiar to many of you who have ever used Power BI or Power Query. For example, the SAP BW connector link directly to the SAP BW query allow the business user to extract data defined by the IT organization within the SAP BW system. So these include all the features of the SAP BW query, such as calculated measures, hierarchy, or restrict measure, etc. So if a business user wants to leverage this data, they can further refine, transform, or merge the data with their own custom data set. So this scenario is the ideal use cases for the SAP BW connectors. So similarly, so you can, we have also have another connector for SAP HANA databases, which connect to the HANA calculated view. So this serves as a semantic model, the layer of SAP, right? So the HANA connector in Fabric is designed for the citizen data integration, or we call self-service scenario, allow you to connect to a calculation view or leverage data for their own need. So this can be combined with other sources or perform the self-service data analysis on top of what IT organization have provided. Okay, so here is a quick screenshot demonstrate these scenarios. So in this example, you can see our SAP HANA connector in Dataflow Gen 2 pull data from the SAP DataSphere tenant. So that is evidence to visualize this source data. So note the column I have highlighted with the red border is the SAP date field, which essentially is stored as a string. So if you're directly using this string format, it can become an issue for other tools since you can't perform the date calculation or apply any date function directly. However, with Dataflow Gen 2 within Fabric Data Factory, it is easier for you to convert this string field into a date type. So once it converts, you can fully leverage all built-in date function and the calculation feature allow you to integrate or transform and use the data as needed. So now let's move to the professional use cases for data integration. So especially when it comes to getting a large volume of data from SAP source into the Microsoft Fabric. In terms of what connector do we offer for this scenario, currently we are working towards achieving feature parity with Azure Data Factory, as we have almost completed except the SAP CDC connector I mentioned earlier. These are the three main connectors with highest adoption and data transfer volume in Azure Data Factory are now available in Fabric. The SAP HANA connector, the SAP Table connector, and SAP BW Open Hub connector. These are available as out-of-box connector so that you do not need to ask for external tool to get data from SAP. So you can just directly using those connector to get data from SAP. In fact, the underlying technology for those three connectors are almost the same between Azure Data Factory and the Fabric Data Factory. So we have essentially migrated the copy activity implement for Azure Data Factory into Fabric, providing a very mature and proven technology platform. So these connectors have already transferred petabyte level of data across thousands of SAP customers every single month in Azure Data Factory. And that same reliable have been now available in Fabric. Even the experience, the setup is also the same. So when using the SAP connector in Azure Data Factory, you need to install a self-host integration runtime to support SAP specific driver. For example, the SAP HANA connector require a HANA ODBC driver, and the table and the Open Hub connector, which connect to the application layer, require a .NET connector driver for SAP. So in Fabric, so everything, the setup is the same, comparing with ADF. And in fact, in Fabric, the only change is the terminology, right? So instead of the self-host integration runtime in ADF, now we are using the term called on-premise data gateway. But from a functional standpoint, so we have combined the capability of the former Power BI on-premise data gateway and the Azure Data Factory self-host integration runtime into a single component and call it on-prem data gateway. So these connectors are now available for you. So you can find and use them in your Fabric tenant today for the master data scenario. These are also another two SAP connector, SAP ECC and SAP C4C. So which are both of the two connectors are based on old data. So however, so their usage in ADF is relatively low compared to the other connector. And this is partially because the SAP C4C have relatively fewer customers. Similarly, the SAP ECC connector connect to all data services in ECC or S/4HANA. But in the days of ECC, there are very few all data services out of box. So it has improved a little bit in the S/4HANA, but still, we believe all data is not ideal for transforming, the large data volume. So for this reason, so while very few customers using this connector and their data volume is very small, so our current strategy is to not to port this connector from Azure Data Factory into Fabric as is. Instead, we recommend you to use a generic OData connector available in Fabric if you have a SAP specific integration need. This will be a more efficient and streamlined approach. So I think those are the overview of the building connector. Here we can see a screenshot of HANA connector in a pipeline. Just give you an example. So if you are familiar with the Azure Data Factory, you will notice that the user experience is very similar right, in Fabric. So all the options are there. For example, you can choose whether you want to perform a single select from a table or define a more complex SQL query, or you can also see a partition option have been there using, such as, you can specify the partition column name, the package size, as how you use the same in Azure Data Factory. So in all, you can see the same capability have been offered here. And this is another picture to demonstrate what you can accomplish with this connector. So when using a SQL query, you can leverage the parameter within the pipeline. This allows you to set up advanced scenario with a few simple input. For example, with just a copy activity and the SAP connector, you could implement some basic change data capture by selecting the sales order with the creation date or the last change date later than the same watermark store from your previous run. So this approach provides a straightforward, powerful, and efficient method for you to extracting large volume data from SAP databases. Okay, so I think I've finished the part for our existing building connector. So now let's move to the second pillar. Our next focus is the work we have been done with our partner ecosystem around the SAP data integration into Fabric. We actually began this journey just over 1 year ago with a selected group of the partners here. So all of these partners are recognized for their SAP data integration expertise. They all have been established themselves in this field over time. They have at least 10 years, some over 20 years of experience in the field with established solution, proven technology, and a strong customer basis. So our goal was to collaborate with those partners to expand integration scenario with Fabric and make it easier for their existing customer to connect to Fabric without requiring migration to new data integration tools, or to extract data directly from SAP source by add-on that must be installed on the SAP application server. And each tool have already been certified by SAP, which means there's no risk, no impact on the life cycle or upgrade of your SAP source system. All those ensure the reliability and peace of the mind for your customer. The first phase of the integration with this partner tool was very straightforward. So enable them to support one lake at the destination, that is to land the data in a file format within one lake. So these two have already provided a wide range of the data integration scenario for SAP, including get data from SAP BW system, tables, views, and even more advanced use cases like the change data capture, etc. So the initial scope was to enable all this extraction capability and save the result data set as a file in one lake. And after the data was landed in the one lake, we're going to talk about the next step for the partner integration. It's open mirroring, right, which play the important role to integrate with those partner tools. Firstly, let's quickly briefing what is database mirroring. So as many of you may have already been aware that, database mirroring provides you a turnkey experience to replicate your data to Fabric with near real-time latency. It automatically keeps a synchronized copy of your data in one lake so that the mirror database is always up to date with the source. And another key advantage for database mirror is its cost effectiveness. So you will not be charged for storage or compute during the mirror process. Database mirror is built based on the CDC change data capture technology. So if you look at this architecture, you will see that you can see the database mirror has a two-phase workflow. In the phase one, so extract the data to the landing zone. Basically, the system connect to the source, capture the initial snapshot and ongoing changes, and write them as a file into a temporary storage we call landing zone, right? After that, we move to the second phase. Second phase is to data replication from the landing zone to Fabric One Lake. So the mirror engine gonna pick up the data from the landing zone and update the synchronized table in One Lake. Each insert, update, or delete option in landing zone gonna be applied to the mirror database accordingly. So this process is actually important for you to understand, especially when integrate with partner or utilize the open mirroring features. So you can see the documentation has also been available in this page with the link, and you can also scan the QR code to see more. So next, I'm gonna play a quick demo on what is the database mirror look like if you have not seen that before.
Go ahead and create a new item. Just as how other mirroring sources are displayed, you will now see a tile from Mirroring for Oracle show up here as well. I'll go ahead and click on it, and immediately I'll be able to either create a new connection or use an existing one. I'll create a new one. And here you'll see that I have a field to select my on-premises data gateway. I'll go ahead and select my on-premises data gateway and proceed. After a few seconds, you'll see all the tables inside my Oracle database. By default, all tables are selected, but you can choose specific ones if needed. I'll go ahead and filter my data and bring in 5 tables, and you can see a preview of the first few rows on the right-hand side. After giving my destination database a name, we'll start the replication process with a single click, and that's it. The initial snapshot may take some time, but within minutes the Monitor tab shows a replication in progress. After refreshing, we can see all tables successfully replicated along with the details like row count, replication status, and completion timestamps. If I navigate to my SQL Analytics endpoint, I can go ahead and verify that all my data has been replicated over. If I click on the tables, customer, I can see a preview of the rows here. Now, we constantly have change data such as inserts, updates, and deletes occurring on my Oracle tables, and we want to see them propagated over into Fabric. I'll go to my Oracle database and insert 5 rows to my customers table. After running the commands and verifying that they have been added, I'll go back to Fabric and verify the changes have been replicated over. If I go back to my SQL Analytics endpoint, I can see that those rows went from 103 to 108, confirming that the rows have been replicated over.
Yeah, thank you for
Directly
watching
from
the demo. So basically, I think the last demo gave you a very quick screenshot about, hey, what is database mirror look like? So next, we're going to talk about what is the open mirroring. So you can see the architecture diagram here is very similar as what we just show you the database mirror, right? So as shown in the diagram on the left, you can see it's very similar to traditional database mirror. However, it allows us to open up the mirroring engine to the third-party tool in the yellow box, which is significant because it greatly expands our range of the capability. So previously, we require a dedicated connector for each data sources, meaning we have to create a connector for every single source we want to support for database mirror. With the open mirroring, any third-party tool or custom application can now integrate directly into OpenBase the mirror, make the process much more flexible. So here is how it works as a high level, also in 2 steps. So the first step is the third-party tool write data from SAP into the landing zone, into a specific format that we have defined. So this includes the instruction on how the new record or deleting record should be marked. All of those specifications to the process are documented. So you can also access on the document through the PR code here. Oh, sorry. And then when the third-party tool and the sort table you want to replicate are configured, so the tool began to ingest data. So our mirroring engine then detects and processes the changes, merge them into the Fabric One Lake. So this process is essentially the same as the previous demo, or our earlier integrate. We mentioned the database, integrate mirror scenario. So, however, by separating the integration in this way, it's become much easier for the third-party tool and the custom application to work with our system. So here are the 5 partners who have completed the integration with open mirroring. And we also provide the link for each of the partner solution so that you can better understand their capability with specific SAP source system they support and the user cases for which they were certified. Open Mirror itself has been GA since May this year, following announcement at Microsoft Build 2 weeks ago. And with this partner solution, you can now synchronize your SAP data in near real time into Fabric, make it, very easy to consume. So if you scan the QR code, you will find more documentation and information about the 5 partners who have completed this integration. So there are also links to each partner solution, which you can see more detail about their capability, their SAP source system, their support, and the specific user cases for which they are certified. You can also explore the partner ecosystem in our documentation, so which lists all the integrated partners. You will find the detailed information linked to the partner website and the contact option to learn more about the pricing, the data model, and their solution. So each partner clearly describes their approach for mirroring the SAP integration to Fabric and their certifications. Together with our college, we also have a record-specific video session with all these 5 partners focus on the open mirroring. So each video feature, the partner introducing their company, their customer, discuss their use cases, and providing a live demo for their solution. So yeah, so feel free to take a look, and hope you're gonna learn more from those. Okay, so after we talk about our partner ecosystem for SAP data integration, so now let's go to our third pillar of the SAP data integration. As I earlier mentioned, that it's going to involve the integration alignment with SAP own data analysis strategy. If you follow SAP data and analysis strategy, you will know that SAP Data Sphere, soon going to be called SAP Business Data Cloud, is their strategic product in this space, right? So SAP Data Sphere basically includes data interaction capability and can serve as a standalone ETL tool. So it provides some replication technology that allow you to extract data from a SAP source system and place it into a place outside of the SAP ecosystem. So for example, you can use it to move data from SAP to the Azure Data Lake Gen 2. So at this present, so SAP this sphere does not provide a direct connectivity to Microsoft Fabric One Lake. However, you can still achieve this integration by firstly using data sphere to replicate data from SAP source into a file stored in Azure Data Lake Gen 2. And then you can simply use a Fabric shortcut to connect to your Data Lake Gen 2 storage connector and then extract data from there. So with this approach, so it's gonna work. Currently, we want to be more. We want to make the integration with SAP strategic tool be more closely, right? So what is missing here at this moment from this process shown in the deck is the final merging step that we offer with partner solutions through the open mirroring has not been there. So this step is not yet possible directly with SAP Data Sphere. If you have interest in a full end-to-end solution mentioned in this deck, yeah, keep your eyes out for our future announcement. So many customers have already used Data Sphere for analysis and would benefit from using it for integration with Microsoft Fabric, especially in the cases where both SAP and the non-SAP data need to be merged and do the cross analysis. I think this is pretty much everything I want to show for today. So at last, I want to show you a demo on SAP, actually on the data analysis for SAP and non-SAP data in Fabric with the Copilot and AI skill. As we have already spent so long time on how we can integrate data from SAP to Fabric, but we also want to get you to the last impression that after your SAP data can be successfully landed in Fabric using whatever approach as we discussed today, you will see the doors is open to empower you to get insight on your SAP and the non-SAP data together in minutes. So let me play the demo.
Here you see a Fabric workspace with a sales data warehouse that combines sales order data from SAP with customer data from a mirrored Azure SQL database. Once all this data is in Microsoft Fabric OneLake, AI skills provide a powerful way to answer ad hoc natural language questions on your data. Let me show you how. To create an AI skill, input a name, select the lakehouse or warehouse you want to use in your AI skill, select the data you want to use, and you're ready to go. Let's try a question that requires a join across sales and customer data. What are my top 10 best-selling products by zip code? And within seconds, the AI skill comes up with the requested data, as well as a SQL query it generates based on the provided question.
Yeah, thank you for watching the demo, and hope you enjoy this. So, and I think that is all we want to share today on the SAP data integration in Microsoft Fabric, with the specific focus on open mirroring with SAP certified partners. So we are looking forward to working with you and listening to your feedback, and more importantly, working with you very closely on involving what is possible with Fabric Data Factory for SAP data integration topic. So at last, I want to thank you everyone for your time to listen to this live stream, and looking forward to meet again in our next live stream session. And thank you, and have a nice day.